With the recent reports of pyramids being found in Antarctica, I went back and looked at the region's history and the mysteries linked to the frozen land. I was reminded of a name. It's a name that many in the UFO and paranormal community are familiar with, Admiral R E Byrd. But who was Richard E Byrd, and why is he so famous, and what mysteries did he uncover? Let's take a look. Welcome to IF, videos on history and mystery. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss a video again. Byrd came from a rural community in Virginia. Born in 1888, his early life was pretty normal. This changed when he joined the Navy in 1912 at the age of 20. In the service, he found that he loved flying and trained to become a pilot during World War I. He grew as a pilot and eventually became an instructor for the Navy. The man went on to fly in both World Wars, gaining fame. The Freemason made many powerful friends, these including John D Rockefeller, who would later in life fund Byrd's expeditions. These friendships have many whispering that Byrd was a member of the Illuminati and the New World Order, the secretive group helping Byrd with the 2 missions he made to the Antarctic and making sure he was involved in a further 6 expeditions, 4 of which were jointly funded by private groups and the United States government. Byrd was the obvious choice for those funding this exploration. He had developed many of the methods used for flying over water, out of sight of land. He played a part in the creation of such aviation equipment as drift indicators to bubble sextants. He used this new technology to fly the Atlantic and then followed this with claiming the prize of being the first to fly over the North Pole. When asked what he would do next, Byrd replied, "Fly over the South Pole." This was the beginning of a number of missions Byrd would accept, helping America to push into Antarctica.
Well, that's the icebreaker Atka, and it's a reconnaissance expedition. It's going down to the South Pole area to make certain observations and to look for some bases. They will be back in April, and they will report back, and upon the information we get from that undertaking, we will base the bigger expedition that's to follow.
This is when Byrd made the discovery he is most famous for. Byrd flew his mission, and when he came back, he had an amazing story to tell. To his astonishment, he had seen a large opening in the ground, a massive cave-like structure directly over the pole. In this cave, the Admiral said he saw lush, tropical jungles. These jungles filled with exotic and long-dead species of animal. He even reported seeing a living woolly mammoth. Byrd theorized that this environment existed due to a sun being at the center of our planet. Hollow Earth theory states that the Earth is either entirely hollow or it contains an amount of space in the interior which is open. There is an internal sun at the Earth's core which helps to sustain the life said to reside within the Earth.
Is that very definitely planned, or is that...
That is being planned right now. So I'm willing to say to you that there will be a number of expeditions that will follow, I think, year after year, at the bottom of the world, because the government has really become interested.
On this mission, the Admiral said that he had landed and shortly after entered this cave. He was met by a blue-skinned alien entity who called itself the Master. Hollow Earth, and the idea of a race of intelligent beings living at the center of the planet, has been proposed by various religions. Most of the major religions have their own versions of a Hollow Earth. This could be the Greek god Hades and his underworld kingdom, a belief which has been incorporated into the Christian religion with the concept of hell. Mesopotamian, Buddhist and Hindu faiths all feature an underworld the latter giving us the epics, the Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita, which both allude to a world at the center of the earth. Buddhists believe in Agartha, the name they have given this subterranean world, which they say was first colonized many thousands of years ago. This leading into the myth that gypsies are originally from this hidden land. They left the safety of the underground and have been trying to find their way back ever since. This story being used to explain their restlessness on the Earth's surface and their continual travels to regain their lost home.
It's by far the most valuable, important place left in the world for science. That's why the scientific groups all over the nation are really interested. But more important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime.
These stories all say that sustainable life exists in the Earth's center, and that people from another planet, or very ancient beings, choose to live there in this very pure and clean place. Is it possible that these are the beings Byrd spoke with? What did they tell him? They told the general that they would not keep him in their realm, but they would instead send him back to the surface. He would then become an emissary of sorts. These beings have been watching humanity, and after the bombs were exploded over Hiroshima and Nagasaki, these beings could not sit silently by. They feared humanity was about to destroy the planet. These beings sent craft to survey the planet. They named these flying machines Flugelrads,
because it happens to be an untouched reservoir of natural resources. And, you know, as the world swings with an ever-increasing acceleration, far-flung places, once useless, like we thought the North Pole was, and no man's land, become very useful. The bottom of the world will be important, not only to us, but to our allies.
The master then told how he had sent his emissaries to deliver his messages to the powerful leaders of our world, and yet they did not heed the warning. Could this be why the Illuminati and the New World Order were so keen on helping Byrd? Maybe they had already been contacted. Byrd, the new emissary to the world above, went on to brief the president and the Pentagon. They ordered the admiral to never speak of what he saw and who he had spoken to. But a secret this big could not remain hidden for long.
We've found enough of coal within 180 miles of the South Pole in a great ridge of mountains. It's not covered with snow, enough to supply the whole world for quite a while.
Well,
allegedly, Byrd was said to have made a series of cryptic comments during an interview with an international news service correspondent, Lee Van Atta, aboard the USS Mount Olympus, which later appeared in the Wednesday, March 5, 1947, edition of a Chilean newspaper called El Mercurio. I quote, "Admiral Byrd declared today that it was imperative for the United States to initiate immediate defense measures against hostile regions. The Admiral further stated that he didn't want to frighten anyone unduly, but that it was a bitter reality that in the case of a new war, the continental United States would be attacked by flying objects, which could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds." Admiral Byrd repeated the above points of view, resulting from his knowledge gathered both at the North and South Poles before a news conference held for international news services. This publication allowing Byrd to share such a strange story and hidden warning is strange, especially when you factor in that the newspaper had served as a CIA front organization for a while during the 1970s.
That's the coal. Now, there's evidence of many other minerals. We are pretty sure there's oil. Now, that coal shows the bottom of the world. Now, by far the coldest spot in the world. Where that coal is gets 100 below zero in the winter.
well,
It was once tropical. So we think there's oil there, and there's evidence, probably uranium there.
Could this bring us back to the hidden hand and the pattern seen in many a conspiracy, wherein information is released before major manufactured historical events? We can only guess as to what kind of threat Byrd perceived to make him claim such danger during the interview. Had some kind of danger actually existed in Antarctica just after World War II? If it had, what kind of threat was it? Or could these spectacular claims have a more mundane answer? Operation High Jump was basically an invasion of Antarctica that consisted of 3 naval battle groups. These vessels departed Norfolk, VA on the 2nd of December 1946. They were led by Admiral Richard E Byrd's command ship, the icebreaker known as Northwind, and consisted of the catapult ship Pine Island, the destroyer Brownson, the aircraft carrier Philippine Seas, the US submarine Senate, 2 support vessels Yankee and Merrick, and 2 tankers Canistad and Capacan, along with the destroyer Henderson and a floatplane ship called Currituck. There have been many amazing claims which have been linked to Operation High Jump. They range from a battle with flying saucers to a final fight with Nazis who had been hiding at the pole. There had been recorded deaths and damage caused to the vessels which took part in this endeavour. The cause of these deaths and damage is a little less spectacular: the weather. The official story lists all deaths and damage as being caused by high winds and storm conditions. Is this true or just a cover story? The cave entrance, which was spotted by Byrd and his team, can also be explained. Antarctic explorer Paul Sipple told press of the Bunga's Oasis, a lake area found to have a uniquely warm temperature, around 30 degrees, which led to a variety of algae growing within. This idea does not explain Byrd's interactions with a blue being or the appearance of lost animals like the mammoth. It provides no explanation for the flying saucers that were also spotted. To me, it's so vague, it's akin to that old trope of swamp gas explaining away UFO sightings. What do you think Byrd saw? Could both stories be false, Byrd spinning a yarn to cover a real military operation, and the official story of bad weather used to cover the real battle that took place? Why is it that with today's satellites and the many expeditions that have taken part in Antarctica, we have heard very little about this hidden land? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here on the channel, hit that red button, like and share. You can catch the latest by searching We Are If. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.